So we have a story with DaBaby, and he went on a little bit of a bowling escapade, so to speak. And so
He
I
went a
guess if
little.
we
He went a little. There will be blood.
oh, there was a lot of blood. That's quite a bit of blood. And so where this kind of started is that DaBaby has a baby with Danny Lay, who is I guess a former girlfriend of his, and that's like largely the gist of it. But Danny Lay has a brother, and Danny Lay and DaBaby haven't been doing very well. I think there was a previous like argument that went on over their baby, which makes this so confusing. And so Danny Lay's brother is all like, okay, he's trying to stand up for his sister and stuff like that, saying that, listen, whenever I see DaBaby, it's on site or whatever. Fast forward to this past week at a bowling alley in the Los Angeles County area, which will contribute to the arbitrary scale this week on Audioface. And it turns out that on site meant on site, but Danny Lay's brother got a little bit more than what he asked for, because DaBaby and his crew, more or less, came at him and started fighting like on the lanes.
Like straight up, like slipping and sliding, pulling hair. Be just, I love it.
Yeah. I hadn't seen that much hair pulling from DaBaby since anyways. So the footage stems from an incident that occurred at this LA bowling alley. And there's a bunch of different angles. You see Brandon Bills, who is Danny Lay's brother, basically held by the hair, being dragged by one of DaBaby's crew. And you got to remember, DaBaby is like a violent guy. And I don't like a number of different connotations.
You don't want to understate that.
Yeah, a number of different connotations of that notwithstanding. I think he's on some sort of probation right now, so he can't be seen getting too involved in stuff like this. It's definitely like a danger for his career at this point. So he's got that concern that I think he needs to make sure he's considering. But just also the fact that you're getting into these lame, petty, ignorant ass like fights at bowling alleys in public over baby mama drama, essentially, over like respect kind of deals. Like, oh, I don't feel respected enough. You disrespected me by saying you would come after me in this thing. So now like my crew's going to come to you. And you have people like, I don't know how much I should read in the comments or whatever, but you have people going, well, yeah, DaBaby did what he had to do. Like they're defending DaBaby for this behavior. And this is so divorced even from the like my other joke notwithstanding earlier. This is so divorced from DaBaby's big scandal of him being quote unquote canceled for talking about gay issues or whatever. Like the point we were making at the time was that Dave Chappelle has this whole history of just being a violent piece of work for a long period of time, predating any of like anti-LGBTQ stuff, which is very bad. And he should be called out for. But there's a whole more larger issue with DaBaby that more people should be critical of.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure he is on some type of charges and stuff that we've talked about before in the podcast, and he has had a history of that before. But like, the brawl is brutal. He's just literally trying to rip the dude's hair out. Like, it's just awful. That guy's a real piece of shit. So that is not a guy you want to be defending. That's not a guy you want to be on your side or you want to be on the side of in support of him. Absolutely not. We've already had all the instances of last year and whatnot, and like, yeah, he's just a tried and true piece of shit person. It's pretty simple at the end of the day.
Yeah. Law enforcement sources, according to TMZ, so take that what you will, are confirmed that police are now investigating DaBaby for assault with a deadly weapon because the Bills was kicked in the head while he was on the ground by DaBaby. And so that would be a major violation. And at the end of the day, Danny Lay's just like, look, this is a bad situation for our daughter that we're trying to raise. Yeah. I don't have a ton of sympathy for Danny Lay because like, you know who DaBaby was. You thought this was all super cool when you were dating him and you had his baby, but like this is kind of the bed you made as well. That being said, DaBaby needs to shape up his behavior because this isn't good for him. This isn't good for his family. This isn't good for his fans, even though his fans eat this up. So yeah, he literally had a what was it? Freestyle video that kind of felt rehearsed, honestly, that he did in the same jacket that he had the bowling alley brawl in. It was unclear whether the video was taken before or afterwards, but it's just like, it's either way, it's not a good look.
Yeah, it's not a good look at all. He's just, you don't want to put that guy on a pedestal.